Okay.
My sister's friend honestly looks like a gypsy.
It might be.
Probably is.
Like an actual like fortune-telling gypsy. It's really fucking weird.
Did you hear about those travellers' homes that all burnt down?
Oh, what a shame. So sad. I wept. Let's move on.
It was in Ireland. There was loads of them. Anywho,
Of course there was.
and on that note, we are.
So many driveways.
Yeah. So time passes. Everybody's doing their own thing. Hakon is out sleeping under the stars. Thonan is swinging from underneath some woman called Helga. Jonas is staring at a cup.
No, Jonas is still in there.
Do a perception check.
No.
Fine. You see fuck all.
God,
Your
let
choice.
us do.
One.
Your choice was made.
I rolled and I still saw fuck all.
I mean, you know the guards are still there.
Sweet.
I say guards.
know
The
no
guys at
one's
the door
moved.
are still there. Yeah, no one's moved.
Cool. I take it. It's pretty fucking. It's about 2 a.m. now.
Yeah, it's going like it's
Cool.
You're
I
there
want to
for-
go over to the back of the house. And what does that look like? Is that like? Is there like gardens? Is there another house that faces onto it, or like
it
backs
looks
onto
on. It look no. There's nothing. There's no houses behind it. It's the last house. Beyond that is like outside the town. It's basically like the back of this house is used as a kind of like almost like a wall, kind of like encase the town itself.
Okay. Is there any like windows on that side or not?
There's a couple on the first floor. There's none on the ground floor.
That's perfect. Can I try and like sneakily crawl into one? So I'm gonna. I take it that means I have to stealth, sleight of hand, and acrobatics.
And the disabled device check.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wow. Is the window locked?
Yes. Well, you'll find out, but yeah.
Okay. So what one do you? What one do you
Stealth
want first?
first,
Cool.
just to see
The easiest one first.
if you roll a one. Easy.
Incoming one.
I got a 2.
It's close.
Yeah.
It's close to a one. Okay. So yeah, you like you hunker down. You kind of like get yourself as low as you can. Roll an acrobatics check.
18.
Okay. Yeah, you manage to like swing down onto the window. Like you're kind of like perched on the ledge.
Yeah. Again, like I'm trying to take my time. I'm not just fucking like helping.
Yeah, obviously. So yeah, looking onto this window, it's like one of those kind of like windows that just kind of swings open from like kind of in the middle.
Okay, so swing out.
Yeah.
So can I figure out the hinges so I'm not a total dumbass and swing this out like onto myself?
No,
Or
yeah,
swing-
you notice that. Yeah, it's not
Yeah.
like so. Basically, the way you would open it, so you would stand on one side of the window, open
Yeah.
it.
I want to open it so I can
and
kind
then
of. I don't have to open
kind
it
of-
fully. I can just like sneak in.
Yeah. So roll a disabled device check.
Cool. Why is this not on here? Ah, I've got Adobe open. That's why. Oh, add an extra 1 to that stealth, Graham. Because
Okay.
I was going off Adobe, not off my updated sheet. I got a 29.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, you
I
managed
think the
to.
window's open.
Yeah, you managed to like flick out your tools, and you're like, yeah, I've practiced this. I know what I'm doing now, and you get it open pretty easily. You're like, I don't know why this was so hard before. Like, why can I not understand this stuff?
It's like pap.
Yeah, pat, open, done. So
And just like swing the tools around my finger and like launch them back in
you
my belt.
you open the window, and it's kind of like there's like a curtain thing on the other side, and you can manage to like sneak your way in.
Cool. Yeah, I want to kind of stay behind the curtain, just like hear what's in the room
Okay.
before I just like jump out from behind the curtain, like surprise.
Give me a perception check.
Um,
You can kind of like peek as well. Like you're not
yeah,
not
I don't want to
completely-
just like. Good God.
Right. So you don't really you don't hear anything behind it, and peering through, the room seems to be in darkness, and there's not like what you can see. There's like sheets over any of the furniture in the room, so it looks like it's either unused or somebody's got
Okay, cool.
weird taste.
Is there like a door? Is there like anyone? I take it there's no one in it.
Well, no, you can open the curtain and actually like fully look inside.
Okay, is there a bit of cover to like one side or the other that I could like?
Yeah, you can like go onto the floor and like, use the curtain as cover if you're that bothered. There's no one in the room.
I want to walk out and be stealthy.
Okay, so you head over and there's
Sweet.
like another door in the room.
Cool. Is there just one door?
One door.
Cool. I'll go up to that door and look through the keyhole.
Okay. So looking through the keyhole seems to be complete darkness on the other side.
Cool. Do you want to roll perception to see if there's anything there? Or do I just hear nothing?
Yeah, you can go for it. Roll it.
25.
All right. You can hear kind of faint noises throughout the house. Nothing that's too obvious. Just like kind of like general noises of that house, like kind of the odd creaking and kind of like the wind blowing through one of the like the wind blowing through stuff and stuff. Nothing ridiculous. No.
Yeah, I want to try the door. Like I don't want to just again everything I do is going to be stealthy.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to like try and wing the door open.
Okay, so it is also locked.
Porno, what is your face? What is that facial expression you're like? Okay, I'll try and open it again. So let me check my 15. Good God.
You managed to open it, just. And you can like, you
God, I put so many points in it.
Yeah, you fiddle about for a little while, and eventually you hear a click, and
Sweet.
It's unlocked.
I'll open it just like a little jar because I know I've like spent a lot of time trying to open that one. So I want to make sure the situation's kind of the same out. What do I see out the?
There is like the top of a stairwell, so it's like kind of like
Cool.
there's a banister looking over the stairway. Across you have a door on the left, a door straight across, and then stairs on the right.
Okay. I'm trying to like visualize this in my head.
I know, that's why your eyes are shut.
Yeah, but I know it looks. That's why I'm saying it because I know it looks retarded. But
oh yeah, it looks like you had a stroke.
So would I know the rough? Would I be able to guess based on like
that the stairs go down the way?
house?
Yes, you would.
No, no, like the rough size of the room. So as in, is one of them going to be like right pressed up against the wall and probably a smaller room? And is one of them
yeah, based on the way that the room that you were in is laid out, either the room straight across from you goes round to the right, or the room to the left is very small. So that's the alternatives. So the room to the right, the room to the left could take up the rest of that side of the house, and the room across from you goes round to the right.
I'm just gonna slowly go clockwise then, with keeping the stair because the stairs are on my right as I come out, aren't they?
Yes.
Yeah,
if
so
you
I'm
go
gonna go
clockwise, it's the
clockwise.
stairs.
I'm gonna go to the left. No, because I come out and they're on my right. So I go left essentially.
Okay, so you're going to try the door on the left first.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay. It is open.
Okay, I'd want to again just slowly open and try and see if I can see anything in there.
Okay, it is very similar to the previous room where there's like stuff that's kind of over the any of the furniture, like kind of draped, like.
Can I see anyone in there?
No.
Cool. I'll shut the door again. Cool. And go to the next room, or the final room.
All right, this room is also locked.
Cool. Oh God.
Okay, you can't. You try it for a while, but you just don't manage to get it open.
Okay. How many essence is it to re-roll?
1.
And I have 5 because we got 3 last week. Do we get 3 last week or 2 last
2.
week?
Got 2.
Which will try and read how many I have. So I've got 5 because I had 3 last week.
You did your retard tax.
Yes, which took me down to 3.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm on 5.
Yep.
So yeah, I'll just use a 1 to take it down to an even 4 anyway. So I get to re-roll that.
Yep, re-roll it.
Did we get 2 last week?
Yeah, you did. So yeah, you try it again. Still no luck, and yeah. you just feel like I mean, you almost break your lockpick in it, but you managed to.
Fuck! I didn't actually break my lockpick in it. Okay. Cool. Right. I'm just gonna have to leave this door now. Lovely. So
Them's the rules.
yeah, them is the rules. It's actually the rules.
Yeah, you get if you use an essence on something, you can't use another one. You get one reroll, or you could have spent 2 to guarantee, but
yeah, but I wanted to try and I went under the
you
assumption that I
literally
couldn't
needed a
roll
4.
3. I know. That's why I went under the assumption is like it's very unlikely I wrote anything less than a 3, and I rolled a 1. So can I? Is there any like lights on downstairs or?
You can see lights outside from the front door where the guys are standing,
not like
but
downstairs.
inside the house is pretty much pitch darkness.
Okay, I want to creep downstairs because I want to check out the rest of the house.
Okay, so you start to head down the stairs, and the stairs are creaking a little bit. You're like doing your best to tiptoe down and kind of like doing whatever is necessary, like going on the banister at some points and just fucking moving across. And you manage to get down to the bottom of the stairs. And there is a room to your left and a room to your right. And then there is a bit that wraps round towards the back, like further towards the back of the house. And you can see 2 doors down that corridor as well.
Okay. So am I at the back of the house now?
You're at the front.
I'm at the front. So would I know where the front door is from where I'm standing?
Literally like 2 steps in front of you.
Oh, okay, I see what you mean. Can I go to the room on the left and try that door? She said there was one on each side.
Yeah. So if you imagine these are the stairs.
Ah, lovely.
You've come down the stairs, the front door here.
Yeah, so I'll try I'm assuming
Door
there's
there.
yeah, I'll try the room
Door
like
there.
yeah, I'll try the door on the left.
Okay, so you try it. It opens, and inside this room is a kind of there's a kind of single kind of fairly large table in the center. There's a single chair behind it, a couple of chairs on the other side. There's a fireplace at the side that doesn't look as if it's been on, and there's like kind of candles along the table that look as if they have been used.
Okay.
And there's some kind of like there's nothing really on the table apart from like kind of mats and stuff and like kind of placement things and a couple of glasses and stuff, but there's nothing that's like sat on
Okay.
it. The rest of the room is fairly bare. Like it looks as if, and kind of gauging from the rest of the house, it looks as if it's kind of like the house was abandoned until the prophet decided that this is where he was going to stay.
Yeah.
And he's basically just kind of, it looks as if this is going to be set up as a place for him to speak with people.
Yeah.
But it's very bare, very makeshift.
Okay, cool. Can I yeah, I'll just close that door and go to the door opposite.
Okay. It also opens. It is very much like the rooms upstairs, not used.
Okay. Again, I'll just close it and go. Are the other 2 rooms just not used?
What 2 rooms? The
The
ones
2
in the back?
to the bottom. Yeah.
Oh.
Okay. Right. I shut that door and go to the this one. I'll ping it.
Okay.
This one.
So yeah, you try to open that door, but it's locked.
Okay. Can I try the bottom one then and see if it's unlocked?
Also locked.
Okay. I'll try the initial one I was at and try and unlock it.
Okay.
24.
Cool.
I
You
can-
managed to unlock
Why
it.
the fuck couldn't I have put that upstairs?
And it's the same room that's come round.
Great. Still nothing in it. Bottom one.
Okay, bottom one.
22.
Cool. You open it. Roll a fort save.
Oh shit. Here we go. So that's a D20 plus my fort mod, isn't it?
Hmm.
8. Good.
Okay.
God.
As you open the door, you kind of get overwhelmed by this. It's not so much a smell; it's just like a kind of like a feeling of just weakness, and you feel as if like the life is being drained from you.
Okay.
and you feel very kind of like tired and faint. And you collapse on the floor.
Oh, shit. Can I do anything before that or not?
You can try and re-roll it if you want.
No, I couldn't use an ability though. Shit. Do I see anything as that's happened, like in the doorway or not? Because surely, as I'm fainting, I would like see something.
Roll a perception check.
Oh, here we go.
See if you notice anything on the way down.
8. 14. My rolls have been horrendous.
As you kind of fall down, you happen to like look and just kind of the light catches from the doorway from the front door into this place, and you see a stairwell that looks to lead down, and the walls that are kind of like around the door as you've opened it seem to be kind of like damp, and that's all you really see as you go down.
Okay.
So, you doing anything?
I'm just debating whether I re-roll that or not, and how much difference that would make.
Well, if you don't, it's going to be daytime.
Yeah, I may as well re-roll it, eh? Great.
Okay.
Come on, roll 20. I'm done. I'm out.
So yeah, you do collapse, and morning comes. Thonan, what did you do at the end of your evening? Did you just head back to the inn and sleep?
Yeah, pretty much.
Fair enough. Hakon, you wake in the middle of the kind of field as dawn breaks. Early as you do. Do you head back into town then?
Oh yeah. As soon as kind of dawn breaks, I would gather up my things and head back in towards the inn for breakfast.
Okay. And Jonas, you managed to wake up slightly later than the others, and you find yourself in your inn room, and across from you is one of the guys that you spotted outside the door of the Prophet's house. And as you awaken, he kind of stands up and walks towards you. Says, "I'm glad you're awake. We worried for you." Says, "I assume you're one of the travelers that has arrived in town." He says, "You were found out the backs in the fields. He found you unconscious and brought you back here. The barman said that he'd seen you before and took you to your room. Are you okay? Do you feel okay? You feel okay, by the way. Just
I'll roll with that. Can I roll a slight sense motive to see if he's talking shit or like?
yeah, you can.
Oh, great! It's a +3. I may as well not fucking bother.
Hey man, you've got to stop rolling badly eventually.
Yeah, it's not today though. I got a 5.
Did you?
Yep.
What? Did you roll again? I've disconnected.
Yeah.
Well, I'm telling you, Graham, it's in roll 20 and I rolled a 5.
Okay. I mean, you think he's telling the truth? Like he looks pretty happy. Like he's happy about something.
I just go, oh, thank you, kind sir. I don't really know what happened last night. The ale you have here must be stronger than we're used to usually, because I had a few drinks downstairs, and well, next thing I know, I'm waking up here.
It's like that's understandable. It's like some cannot hold their drink as well as others.
I just got fucking wrecked.
It's like I'm glad nothing bad came of you. It's like you were lucky that we were doing our rounds in the town in the morning, but we don't know how long you were there for. It was around 5 or 6 this morning we found you.
Well, all is well now, so thank you, kind sir.
Okay. So yeah, he gets up and leaves now that you're awake. Cool.
And as he's leaving, I just said, like, the prophet provides. As he's in like a courteous way. I'm not trying to be snidey. I'm like trying to be pretty genuine and be
He
like,
kind of He doesn't really return it, but he kind of like nods at you, or like does a kind of half bow, and then walks out.
Yeah.
Um,
How can I roll so many shit rolls? Roll 20. I'm gonna email roll 20 right now.
okay.
Who runs roll 20?
The Roll20 people? I don't know.
Right.
Wow.
I'm not actually emailing roll 20.
So yeah, you head down, and I'm assuming the rest of you guys are already down, unless you're doing anything else.
I'd have been in there having breakfast.
Cool. Yeah. So you come down and you can see the other guys that are sitting around a table having their breakfast that's been provided by the prophet.
Because the prophet provides.
Because he provides.
Yes, I understand.
Cool. What you doing? What's happening?
I just divulge what I'd learned the night before. Tell them that the prophet seems to spend 6 days of the week blessing people and generally being a tip-top bloke, and then spends the rest of the week kind of recuperating. Sometimes it takes longer to recuperate, sometimes it takes less time. Can be up to a couple of days depending on how busy he's been.
Yeah. Mira seems a lot happier, a lot fresher. She's happy she's had a decent rest.
It's because she did nothing.
It's cause she did
can I
literally
have-
fuck all.
Have I come downstairs by this point or not?
Yeah, you kind of like approach as Hakon's explaining stuff, and I'm assuming you'll like repeat it to him.
Oh yeah, of course. I then turn to Thonan and ask him how did his evening go.
Pretty well, pretty well.
Oh, that's the wrong answer. You're supposed to say you had a swinging time.
No.
Why not?
Fuck you, Graham.
God, can I get a
can
joke
I-
in here?
Can I lean in and whisper to the group that we might need to talk in private, and I have some information they might want to hear.
I don't know. Can you lean in and talk to the? Yeah, of course
Oh,
you can.
for fuck's sake!
I think you should roll for
I
that.
think you should roll. I think you should roll.
I don't think we
I think
should
you should
roll
roll a
for
sleight of hand check for that.
Because I'll fucking face plant on the desk.
Yep. He goes to lean in, falls
got-
through the desk, flips
Unconscious
over the
again.
table. Yep, unconscious. You wake up 3 days later. Back in Keldan.
Yeah, so sorry. Yeah, no, I lean in and like, yeah, I have some troubling news that may be best discussed in private. If you would wish to come upstairs.
Okay. So
I sound.
yeah.
And then, like, as I see them like stand up, So then, I assume we'd all gather in one of the rooms, and I would essentially just discuss what happened the evening before.
Okay. Do you
So
go into like full details, including you passing out and then trying again and then passing out again, and how badly you rolled and you couldn't open that door, or do you just kind of like skim over some of it?
I wouldn't know that though. I would just know that I couldn't get.
You
some
know
of
that
the
you
door.
failed to open a door.
Yeah, but like that's just I couldn't open the door. I'm now a skilled in that department. Well, I got a lot of other things open that I didn't get. I mean, 6 days, that's a big improvement.
Yeah, you got
From
your
getting
bottle
nothing
open as
open
well.
to getting everything else open. It's pretty. But then I mainly focus on the door, so I would describe how I saw the wet walls and the staircase leading down and how it made me pass out. And I don't believe... and we have seen already on our travels a few individuals that may have seemed nice on the outside, but appeared to be doing some rather... shall we say, evil things, like the Lord of the last village, and I just thought you, as my party member, should be made aware of this, and that, well, we might have to do something about it because not all is as it seems. As Hakon, you may know more, but I have a feeling that it's only really dark magic that would give off that sort of effect. Or darker.
Well, I don't know much about dark magic, if I'm being honest. I think maybe the one that knows about magic would know the most.
Oh, he just seems to shag hookers and
Hence he would know stuff about dark magic.
Going on.
Yellow.
I'm going to give you the chance to have
To read
spent
that
some of the
book.
morning, reading that book. Just because it's a new dawn, it's a new day. Let me do some reading.
There's more tundra to be had.
Yeah, it's not a new
Time
life
to
for
wake and
me.
bake. I mean, read.
I like his idea. gonna need a montage.
Cool. Right. So you wake up in the morning, and from your kind of like your night of activities and your decent rest, you finally kind of get your head together and manage to power through the first bit of this book.
You slept on the book and absorbed it via
Yeah.
osmosis.
Yeah. Basically, you read a kind of what is essentially a kind of fairly long introduction to some of the various things that they're taught in the book. The first 20 pages at least go through this kind of introduction process, and it basically describes. It basically talks about. It refers to it as the lifeblood, but it's just the blood of creatures or anything that's living that has blood. And it refers to various uses, various properties that can be held within various types of blood, or depending what creatures you use. So depending on the type of creature and individuals within a type. So like any kind of subtype. So like it says that like dwarfs and elves and stuff, and like all these different like humanoid creatures have different attributes that can be provided from their blood, and they can be used for various spells and provide various things for what they can be used for. And that's really about as far as you get, but you it kind of explains, it starts to go through being like, you should always seek and look for more like, the various things that can be provided from finding new sources of this life energy.
Cool. So
Alright.
what is your exact question on the dark magic-y scary things?
Essentially, if you ken anything about like wet walls and green light in basements. I mean, we've
Sounds
had
like a lot
some
of
run-ins
basements.
with. We've had some
Do you
run-ins with
do
basements.
you know anything about wet walls, basements, and coloured lights?
Sounds like where I was.
And the fact that it rendered me unconscious when I opened the door.
That definitely sounds like something I did.
And I woke up in a
good.
field.
Do you still have all your organs?
I don't know.
I
I'm
would
going with
choose
yes
that
because I'm here.
Oh God, they took my kidney.
My kidney.
You've got
As he
everything.
says that,
You're fine.
Graham, I just kind of like lift up my shirt and I'm like, I think so. I'm like, yeah.
So where was this wet room?
It may or may not have been in the prophet's house. By may not, I mean it was.
Right, okay. That sounds kind of sketchy.
And
Although
as
it
you,
doesn't sound too out of the norm if all happened was unconsciousness. That's not that bad.
this is true. I just felt as my current party members, you may want to know the information I learned.
Oh, this definitely adds to the sketchiest fuck vibes I'm getting, but...
As I too am getting rather odd vibes. He just seems rather almost too nice.
Still something to write home about.
Well, so far, he's not done anything bad. I mean, obviously we're going to check him out.
Yeah, so
but-
this cunt sleeps the seventh day of the week, conveniently.
Not always. It's dependent.
Right, so he should be up and about today, right?
Yeah, it should be.
Right,
From
how
what the
about we
guys
go...
that I was speaking to last night were saying, he should be out
I,
this
I
afternoon.
feel after my last evening's escapades, it may not be the smartest thing if I go. And if you just deny
yeah.
all knowledge of me.
Yeah, that sounds kind of smart. I'll go. Anyone else who wants to come can come. I'll go and feign ignorance and chat to this.
Yeah, I'll come with you. I've already
Awesome.
expressed an interest in wanting to meet him.
Okay. Yeah, you guys finish up your food. Get ready. And as you kind of like go to head out, you are greeted with like basically the kind of center square area, which is very busy for the size of town. Like it's obvious that there's something going on. There's a lot of people standing about. Almost as soon as you step out of the tavern, there's people right in front of it, kind of waiting about the place. Yeah, and you can spot off towards the center of the kind of main area. there's people like sitting on top of the carts and stuff, and there's people standing about, and there's people trying to like stretch to get a view, and you can see a man standing in a kind of white robe, kind of like with his arms raised, looking over the crowd and speaking to them.
I'd wander over to have a listen.
Yeah, what's he saying?
Okay, so you manage to push through, and you kind of catch the end of what he's been saying. He says, and the town is still under my protection. I will continue to help you. I am now rested. We will continue to provide for each other and help each other as best we can. May the blessings be on our town for many, many times to come. And then everybody kind of claps and he gets down, and a few people
just awkwardly end the clapping.
Yeah.
Like after everyone else has kind of clapped, I'm just like, just for a couple more.
Okay. Yeah. A few people kind of rush up to him as soon as he steps down off his. He's basically on like a big kind of like. He's on a soapbox basically. And he kind of steps down, and people rush up to him and start speaking to him, and he's kind of like, you can see he's like smiling and talking quite happily to them. And so you just kind of like approach.
Gonna wait till those people clear off.
Oh yeah, okay. So like, he's kind of speaking to them for about like a minute or so, just kind of like doing what he can. You don't really see anything spectacular happening. But yeah, they kind of wander off, and they seem quite happy, and they're kind of like talking to each other. And then he looks first towards one of the guys that's standing near him, who's like one of the other people that's kind of wearing the same kind of robes, and walks and kind of like mentions something quickly to him, and then looks over to you and starts heading towards you. And as he approaches, he says, "Greetings, protectors. Welcome to my town." And says, and he kind of looks to me and says, "And of course our prospect. Like we're more than happy to have greeted you. It's like I hope you've slept well in our little town."
Yeah, thanks. How did you know she's a prospect?
Well, it's like I have many ways of seeing the land, and I foresaw your approach, your arrival to this town.
Divination, excellent. So we've never really heard of you before we got to this town. Why are you here?
I'm simply here to help a town that was in dire need of help.
So this town was in more dire need than everywhere else.
It's like, yes, this is probably one of the most I would say unlucky, but I feel luck may not be part of it. These people were lost, and I helped them find their way to what is a cleaner and better life.
Can you elaborate on cleaner?
He kind of looks around. He's like, the town now, people walk among it and speak to each other. They have no need or worries. They are much happier. But most of all, they are free from the disease and the plagues and any other ailments that would previously have caused them problems.
Okay. So how did you fix that?
Like, he's like, he kind of looks at you, smiles, and says, it's like, I work in the ways that I am blessed. I have been gifted upon me, and I gift it to these others.
What would you say that you provide?
Like, yes, they do say that.
As diffusing as that answer is,
I've actually not, to be fair, I've not described him. I'll describe him just so you've got a better idea. He
Is
is.
he wearing a pointy hat?
I already have an idea of what he looks like.
What do you think he looks like? Because I'm waiting to see this linked because it's going to happen.
A penis.
Give me a second. There we go.
Hang on.
Yes.
Pretty much that guy.
This is going to cause problems, but we'll go with it anyway. Okay, what is this? No, yeah, no, not that much.
Why not? Yes.
Well, no, he's not that old. He is human. He's got kind of like black hair, a much shorter beard. It looks quite well maintained. Yeah, he's got these kind of like white robes. The robes have a kind of like black trim around them. Yeah, he kind of looks like. How do I describe it? In like, he looks like a kind of like a night like that kind of like nice school teacher where he's not like he doesn't look angry all the time. He just kind of looks quite happy, looks quite peaceful.
Was he that nice school teacher that touches kids?
No,
A bit more like what I just put, Graham.
I need to keep messing with the thing every time I check stuff.
It's a Buddy Christ thing.
Yeah, more like that. Why not?
Okay, yeah.
Not so long hair, but yeah, why not?
Okay, yeah, but as diffusing as that answer was, how do you actually fix things?
Like how would he word it? He says, I merely do what I can. I don't fully understand it myself, but I know what I can do, and I know what I can do for this town.
If, for some unknown reason, have you managed to fix the problems in the town, or are you merely being, for want of a better term, a band-aid for them?
Says, I would feel that you must first apply a band-aid for something to fully heal.
Yeah, but surely if you
But,
give a man a fish, he'll eat for a day. If you teach him to fish, he'll eat for a lifetime.
I can provide many fish, and I am not going anywhere. So I feel this town, for as best I can, will be kept safe. However, it may not be as long term as I would like. And he kind of like not really hushes, but kind of like speaks a bit quieter and leans in. He says, there are some things that, as much as I can do here, I cannot be everywhere, and I cannot do everything. So some things may be out of my control. But for the people here, I am someone to help. I am someone to look after them. I'm someone to care for them.
Yeah, we've just been in a town that could really have used your help.
Like,
There was lords shagging his dead kids and everything.
it's like that seems more isolated than what I am aiming to do. But like I'm not here to. I will here to help the people. But it's like he says I'm not some kind of investigator or
We are.
policing.
We're some
authority.
meddling kids.
God damn.
Yeah, he's here to help. He's not here to like play fucking.
Meddle.
Yeah, he's not.
Well, I mean,
He's not
he is meddling.
Yeah, he's not here to play Sherlock though. He's go about trying to help people's problems.
Meddle.
If people come to him looking for help, he'll help them. But he's not going to go and like look for it, kind of thing. But yeah,
I asked him if he'd be okay if I spent. Would it be okay if I spent the day with him and just kind of watched him work? I'm interested to see his methods.
of course you can. I'm more than happy to have someone. He's like, you may notice that other people will follow us. They will.
Of course.
They're often intrigued, as you can imagine. They're happy seeing me at work and seeing what I can do for the people here.
Okay.
He says, please follow me. And yeah,
and I would
Yeah.
if moved on. I would.
yeah, you kind of Are you guys all coming, or are you kind of like tack on just the only one that's will follow him about?
No, I'm fucking. I want to see the shit show. Let's go.
Okay, so yeah, he kind of like heads off.
The awkward moment when you look up a protein waffle recipe and then get to the end realizing you don't have a waffle iron. Ah.
Hack on. You guys kind of head off, and within at least the first couple of minutes, you feel kind of like a tugging slightly on your arm, and you turn around and kind of Mira's looking at you as if she wants to speak with you.
Okay.
Um,
Yeah, I'll follow her to the side. I imagine.
Well, no, you kind of like just take a step back
Okay,
as you're walking,
yeah.
and she kind of looks and says, "As I would consider myself a fairly good healer, someone fairly good at curing ailments. As much as I'm curious to see how this man works, I feel that someone who is doing all that he is claiming may be either someone that could be helpful to us, or someone that could be very dangerous."
I would agree. I think that I don't think any of us are are.
Damn it, roll 20. What the fuck?
I don't think any of us are diminishing his talents. I mean, he has quite obviously done things in this town. I think all we're trying to discover is what he can actually do and whether his intentions are as pure as he says they are.
She says, well,
For now, all is well, and if it gets to the stage where we don't think that we can handle whatever his shit is, then we can leave.
so
But for now, I just want to see
yeah,
what
she
he does.
basically says that she's gonna watch closely from someone who is practiced in healing magics and see if it's anything
And
out
if
of the ordinary.
if we have to, we can get your owl involved.
And kinda like you just hear this kind of like almost like ghostly like whoo.
Winston, that's his name, isn't
Yeah.
it? It's Winston.
Yeah, it's Winston.
Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, you guys kind of continue walking, and there's kind of people that come up and greet him, and he speaks with various people, and a couple of people walk up and kind of like hold out their hands, and then he like basically grasps their hands together, and you can see him kind of like saying something, but there's no kind of like obvious, like there's no kind of like obvious like glows, sparks, anything that looks distinctly magical, and then he just kind of like. As he moves his hands away, you see that people's hands that have been put out are like now filled with kind of like various foods, and they seem fairly happy, and they kind of like walk away. And he repeats this process with a few times with people. Someone walks up to him and says that says, "Oh, Prophet, I was sitting last night, and I went to stand up, and my back it felt rather sore, and I'm not really basically kind of like just general complaints." And he says, "Well, allow me to help you." And he does the same kind of thing where he just like puts his hand on his back and kind of like puts his hand on his shoulder, and then just kind of leaves it there for a couple of seconds, takes it away, and the guy says, "Thank you, Prophet," and like bows at him and walks off. And it kind of happens like repeatedly, same kind of thing. It's literally just like he goes up, touches them, and then moves on. There's no great exchange of words. There's nothing that's too ridiculous. A couple of people have come up saying that like, you notice a couple of people that come up and say stuff like they've noticed like rashes or like any kind of like things returning and stuff like that, and he kind of like touches them, and you actually like can see that as he moves his hands away, whatever was there, any kind of like redness or swelling in has like disappeared.
They said returned.
Yes.
So specifically something that he's cured in the past has come back.
Yeah. Well, maybe not come back, but like maybe not the same thing, but something has returned. Yeah.
Yeah.
But then it's mostly just kind of like giving out foods and filling things with water and stuff like that. And you can see that when he's doing it, it's always very kind of like enclosed. Everything's very kind of like personal and kind of like calm. Like he'll definitely cover something. So if it's like, imagine if it's like a cup, he would kind of like properly like cover it, and kind of like you'll see it as he takes his hands away. It's filled with water or whatever. And they're not going to be like open glass. They're kind of like bowls and stuff. But yeah.
Okay.
If each of you can roll, each of you who are observing, roll perception checks, and I'll roll one for Mira as well because she's. And also, if anybody else wants to do anything else, then you can do that as well. Because this is basically just for the full like morning of you following him about.
Got a 27.
Jonas, you wanna?
What, roll perception?
Yeah, go for it, man. You never know.
But I'm miles away.
Oh right,
Randomly
you're
with
not
him.
with them. Yeah, sorry.
I'm in hiding after like getting
Are you
fucking
like
raped.
completely just not even anywhere?
Yeah, I want to just totally stay away for their
Yeah,
first
fine.
meeting just in case.
Okay, so roll. Yeah, that's alright. Okay, yeah, so basically you notice that as he kind of goes round through the morning, it's not really that he doesn't seem to like slow or anything. Like he doesn't seem to like he's constantly as happy and like as aware as he's been, and he's greeting the same people in the same kind of manner and doing the same kind of like spiel every time. And it's always as if it's like a kind of like a fresh thing. So it's not like he doesn't seem to tire from it. He doesn't seem to get annoyed by anyone. Like it's always just the same kind of idea. But you never, regardless of how much you like look and how much you like attention you're trying to pay, almost like a kind of like magician kind of thing, where you can't quite see the trick happening. Like you can't quite catch what's going on.
Yeah.
And as much as you're like you paying attention, you definitely like you're looking for it, and you kind of like occasionally will glance up his sleeves and stuff to see if there's anything that's like going on. But it literally like you can't see anything happening, regardless. You could say it's almost divine now. But yeah, it's kind of, yeah, very. It seems more straightforward than you would think it would be.
Yeah.
Almost.
Yeah, we're all actively watching him. We're all seeing what he's trying to do, and none of us can tell like where his magic's coming from, how he's doing it, how he's casting it. There's no obvious casting like normal semantics or animations that he's doing. It's just kind of happening.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah, you spend the first few hours going around with him, speaking with him, doing whatever, watching him kind of work with the people, and then he says that he's going to retire for lunch, and he says he's got some people that he's going to speak to elsewhere in the afternoon. But if you need anything else, speak with one of the men that's been kind of not really following, like not following as closely as you guys, but they're around the town, like they're speaking with people as well. They're just kind of like moving about and talking. And at this point, basically what he's been doing is he's been moving around the square and kind of like the kind of like inner areas. He's never really went into houses. He's mainly just been speaking to people who've been out. And obviously he says like in the afternoon he's going to go and speak to people specifically who to go and see. But yeah, he says if you speak to one of the people that you can see that are that are closer to him, if you mention anything to them, they'll get word to him and he'll come and speak to you.
Graham, what point in the moon cycle are we just now?
I mean, you've stared at it enough, so yeah, you would know. You're probably closer to a kind of full moon. So you're.
Yeah. So it's not a full moon, but it is on that slide. Yeah.
Yeah, it's probably within the next 4 days, 3-4
Okay.
days. When the lunar cycle is what, a few weeks?
Yep.
21 days or something. I just get just to give it a name. New moon first quarter, full moon last quarter. Okay. Yep. Gibbous. Waxing gibbous,
Gibbous.
apparently.
We're at waxing gibbous, so
Yep, apparently that's the term. Seems interesting, but yep, that's what you're looking at.
Of course it does. Have you not paid attention? The wanes and waxes, like Luna.
Yeah, I know, but I didn't. It's the gibbous part that sounds weird. Like waxing and waning is fine, but
right, cool.
yeah, that's. Any other questions?
So is he leaving off to go and
Have lunch.
have lunch, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Also a form of structure.
I'm assuming he's making it like fairly clear that he goes and does that alone and not with us.
Don't know if it's alone, but he does go off. Like he just kind of wanders off.
Well, I will go over and speak to one of his handlers, for want of a better word.
Okay, so yeah, you can just go and speak to them. Not one of the guys you spoke to before. It seems to
Yeah.
be. I mean, there's not that many. There's probably like 5, maybe, that you've seen that look be different.
I just want to say to him, the prophet said that if we had any requests to come and speak to you guys in his absence, could you pass on a message that I would like to see him after the sun is set, probably when the moon is its highest this evening.
Kind of looks, he's like when you first kind of start, he's like, well, of course, yeah. And then as you kind of like go more into detail, he's like, a bit of an odd request, but I'll give him the message. I'll definitely pass it along. It's like, is there anything else I can help you with? You seem to be.
Oh, nothing for now.
Yeah.
Just
Fair enough then. And he kind of goes back and starts kind of like he's just kind of continue to talk to people that are around. So yeah, what you guys want to do? Anything? You're in a new town. It's fresh. Everyone's free.
so other than kind of like the tavern and the whorehouse, and then this lad's house. What else is there in the town?
Are there any pigs?
Not that you've seen.
Oh, damn it.
Could have asked the prophet, man.
People. Yeah, I was busy trying to see through his bullshit. I don't care about pigs. Until now.
Until now. Well, yeah, there's none that you've seen. There might be some around. You ask.
Right. I'm gonna fucking find pigs.
Okay. So what are you doing? How are you going about your pig finding?
Well, probably gonna go with a sensible kind of spiral pattern and just work from the middle outwards.
As in, like, literally looking for them or asking for them?
Both. Like, I'm not just gonna, like, I've not
Okay,
just suddenly
there are
turned
no
east.
pigs in the town.
This fucking world is against me. This is why we need pig wrestling.
Ask some people, Jesus. Oh, hell, I didn't know.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. As in, like, I'll start in the center of the town and kind of, like, spiral
Alright,
outwards.
okay, yeah.
And just kind of, like, whoever I can, like, obviously within, like, a decent radius. I'm not just gonna go from, like, one person to the next all the way around town asking the same
Do you have any
question.
pigs? Do you have any pigs? Excuse me, do you have any pigs? Yeah. Within
Yeah,
the
wait,
first
wait,
couple of
wait.
people, you get people that are like, oh yeah, there's, they mentioned some wild boars that can be found, like, on the areas kind of, like,
Interesting.
outside of the town. So it's basically further to the west of the town. There's some, like, there's animals that go around that kind of area, and they've seen wild boar before. Been going about there.
Right, there's no domesticated pigs.
Nah, you have no need.
That's gonna be interesting. Right, okay, I'm gonna head out.
Okay. By chance, would you want to take the person who has literally spent most of their life tracking animals with you?
No.
Right, okay.
What else is there in the town, Graham?
Honestly, there's not that much that's, like, obvious. In a lot of towns, you would see, like, shops and various things for kind of, like, trades and stuff like that. There's nothing really like that apart from some of the stalls that are in the centre of the town, and they seem to be filled with various foods. And, like, they're kind of like, people come up, they get handed stuff, they take stuff if they want it, and they leave. There's nothing that's really that thingy. Ridiculous. The other houses around the centre are mainly seem to just be homes that people have, or places that people can go to and sit in, like, whatever. There's the main tavern, there's that kind of, like, brothel bit, and then there's just a couple of things. There is a couple of stores for people to go in and get stuff. They're just normal looking houses, but they have doors open, they have some stuff sitting outside.
I'll just go peruse those then.
Okay. So, everything looks quite alright. I mean, there's a lot of fresh stuff. There's a lot of kind of, like, fruits and stuff that are sitting about, and a lot of vegetables. There's some fresh cold meats that are sitting in, like, kind of salt bucket things.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, when you kind of go in and there's, like you're kind of, like, wandering around and looking at some of the stuff that's on the shelves. There's various, like, things that you need for day-to-day life, and people come in and just kind of pick stuff up and wander back out. There's nothing really, like...
Is there anything that I haven't seen before?
Not really. Everything is just kind of standard. Like, it all looks...
Okay.
Like, roll a perception check, actually, because I'm gonna... Okay. As you're kind of going through and you kind of look at stuff, and it's a lot more difficult to spot on food and
Yeah.
stuff. But as you're looking at this stuff that you're kind of seeing, like, all the kind of, like, various utensils and stuff that people would have in the homes and people that need in their homes for day-to-day life, you notice that it's almost as if everything is, like, a copy. Like, everything has, like, identical kind of markings, identical things. Everything's just, like, as if it's been copied out.
Okay. I'll go to one of the shopkeepers.
There is no shopkeepers.
Or is there nobody, like, in and around the rooms?
No. People just kind of come in and take what they need and leave.
Okay, well, the next time someone comes in the room.
Okay, so yeah, somebody comes in and they're kind of, like, picking up some stuff.
And I just asked them, is all of this provided by the prophet?
This guy looks and says, yes, this is all provided for us. It's like, whenever we need anything, we can come in and get it and go back home and do whatever. It's like, it's like he kind of explains it like a kind of communal place where people just have stuff. He's like, and it says, whenever we're finished, we bring it back, or we, like, obviously in the case of food, it's not, but
Before the prophet, such as tools or equipment and such, how was that made?
he says, there were people in town who would do their best to make things. Says we try not to remember before the prophet. It was not a good time for this town.
Mhm.
But life is better now. Things are good. And he's like smiling, and he kind of was to walk out.
Before you leave, sir. Are there any craftsmen in the town?
He says, "Well, we have no real need for craftsmen, but people used to have those professions. They now spend their time kind of lazing or doing things as a hobby, perhaps. But nothing else.
Are there any in particular? I would look to maybe speak to one of them.
Says, yeah, there's a couple of people who are in town, and he kind of like gives you various directions of like houses and stuff. He says, like, he kind of describes like people who would do kind of woodwork stuff, and there's a guy who used to do metalwork stuff.
Perfect.
Either would be kind of like that. There's people who were like chefs or farmers and stuff, and like various kind of like, you kind of like lists out from things that people would do in the town.
I'd probably take interest at like probably the chef and the person that was doing the metalwork. Those would be the two that I'd like actually take interest and probably
and get
want
like
to...
proper directions
yeah,
from.
yeah.
Okay.
Those are the two that I'd want to go and speak to.
Cool. Okay. Jonas, what are you doing during your time hiding?
I was assuming I would just wait for some of them to come back with information.
Okay, fair enough.
Although, is it past lunchtime?
It is lunchtime.
I would probably go downstairs and eat in the bar then.
Cool. Yeah, you go down and food's provided.
Cool. Yeah, just chill out there. If no one comes back within like a couple of hours, I'll go like look for them.
Okay.
Because by then I would be quite worried. Considering...
Yeah, I would after I'd spoke to the guy in the little communal shop area, I would go back to go and find Jonas.
Okay. Well, are you guys going over anything? Like, I'm assuming you kind of fill them in.
Oh yeah. I'd fill him in on the morning of us like watching the prophet.
Yeah. Is there anything specific you want to like
do stuff? I would tell him about like trying to keep keenly aware of what was going on, but not really seeing any tricks, and say that I'm quite interested to speak to some of the people who've been put out of work by the prophet. Obviously, this is spoken in hushed tones, so that
I'll add to that. It's like this. I mean, I know I'm usually. You may have noticed I'm fairly skeptical, but this all just seems. Far too good to be.
Totally agree.
Like no man. No matter his skills.
People in this day and age that have these skills don't do it for free.
No. So something is.
So I explained my want to go and speak to people that have been put out by this guy. People that maybe, of anyone in the town, these are the people that are going to have the most begrudgement. As much as there's not much to begrudge, if there's anyone, it'll be these people.
I think that sounds like a good show. And I'll go with them.
Cool.
So I'd probably go with like the metalworker. Is he a blacksmith or is he more like intricate metalwork?
Probably like a smith.
Yeah.
So it's kind of smith and someone that would do kind of like forging as well.
Yeah.
But nothing intricate, nothing like detailed.
Yeah, it was just more. Is it fine metalwork or crude metalwork? And I assumed it was the latter. Yeah. So he would make the plows and he would make horseshoes and weapons if they were ever required. That sort of stuff.
Yeah.
Excellent. That's
tools are probably more like.
Yeah, obviously, yeah. But yeah.
Right. We'll take another break now, and then when we can go back, we can go out into the town. That one.
I'll throw some.
And we'll also see how fucking Thonan gets on with these.
I'll throw some more ones about the board.
It's pig wrestling.